Everybody likes being around positive people. They just make you feel better. And today I'm going to introduce you to someone that exudes authenticity. He exudes positivity. I have the pleasure of working with him on a daily basis. Brett Nickley, thank you for joining us and telling people, sharing how you make all this happen.
Yeah, no, that made my day when I got that email that's kind of how you see me, and that was going to be our topic today. I certainly don't feel like I'm that person at all times, and the fact that other people do, though, I greatly appreciate, and it is something I enjoy talking about.
Yes, it is something I hear about you constantly, Brett. So
thank you.
I think you kind of answered my first question as maybe a yes, but do you have a bad day? I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, I definitely do. And again, the people closest to me know it. So, I mean, sorry for you guys, that my good friends at work or family and stuff. But yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, yeah, that's part of being human. But you start putting a couple of those bad days together, and it goes downhill fast. So being able to turn that around, I think, is a super important part of any job, but especially our industry.
Well, it's something I appreciate about working with you. So do you have a dark side?
The dark side, again, yeah, would be a couple days in a row where I'm just feeling down, either about the job, about maybe a particular person. And I think talking through it with somebody who understands that and can help get back on the right track to those good days is one of the best things for that.
Yeah. No, I meant like, are you secretly Darth Vader? Am I going to be walking down the street one day and I'm like, Darth Vader dude looks a lot like
I don't
Brett.
think you have to worry about that. The maddest I get is probably like losing a game of FIFA. The video game. Well, actually, it's not called FIFA anymore, but yeah, losing the soccer video game will get me pretty riled up. I've given up on my commander, so that's and honestly on Manchester United too. But yeah, so those things can get me pretty down.
So I'm not going to look at like a next day alert one day and see something like, I just saw this creep knock over my garbage cans, and then I'm like, that's Brett Nickley.
Eddie B, I'm not making any promises. I've gone over there a couple times, and the alarm system's very intimidating. So I don't think I'm messing with that. But if your garbage cans are fair game, maybe one or two of them.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Your job is to support real estate agents, and real estate agents are known oftentimes for wearing their emotions on their sleeves. You know, I've often said that, clients can be really tough on real estate agents because, that they have to make difficult decisions. And so you're not always kindest to the people that are walking you through these decisions. And I find that real estate agents oftentimes can take it out on us as a way of sort of venting those frustrations. So is there a secret sauce you could share with us in terms of when you're confronted with someone who's stressed out and angry and you feel like they might be taking it out on you, that you can keep yourself focused on solving that problem?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm getting them for a very small sliver of the day, first off. And so it's important to me that regardless of whether they're having a great day or not, that they're getting the absolute best from me. So when I see that phone ring or something, I'm making sure that those 1 or 2 minutes, because a lot of times it's a really quick thing I can help with, or if it's a longer thing, getting on there with a smile. But knowing that amount of time might be something that can be that little impetus to help turn the day around. And yeah.
And have you noticed that your positivity rubs off on real estate agents?
I would like to hope so. I mean, I have heard it and greatly appreciate it. And again, I mean, there's agents that I work with that do the same for me as well, that will come in the door just for a quick visit and turns my day around, getting able to see them, which is awesome. And I think I'm a very social person, so having those interactions are huge. And I do like role of being that go-to person. Even if I don't know something, knowing the person that will know that. So in some ways I have an easy job because a lot of times I get to be the hero, but there's days where I don't feel like that for sure too.
All right. So imagine this. I hire you to write a course on positivity, right? The power of positivity. What examples would you cite, as maybe the chapter headers to sell people on why they need to present themselves as a glass half full type of person?
Yeah. I mean, first impressions are going to be a big thing. I think that's the one to start off with, whether it's a prospect or a fellow agent or something. I mean, those first impressions do matter. So you don't know who's going to be hearing you at a certain time. So yeah, that would probably be the first step there. Another part of it, again, I do like the idea of being surrounded by people who you do feel positive, happy around. So if you're not around coworkers that are like that, even on a brokerage perspective, if you're not feeling the love or feeling that positivity, then yeah, maybe it's time to look elsewhere.
All right. Well, I definitely know the place there. So do you have advice for people? Say you get up and you're just not feeling it on a given day, but you're meeting with clients and you know that you need to be presenting yourself with a smile. Any advice for ways people can put that smile in their face?
Yeah. So first off, I'm gonna take one step back because you mentioned authenticity too, and in some ways, extreme positivity and authenticity can cross a little bit. So there are going to be times throughout the transaction where you're not going to be delivering the best news to them, and so I think seeing a range of emotions, mostly positive, but knowing that you've got that human element of that you can not only be that positive force, but be able to positively deliver some bad news that an offer didn't come through is something. And but yeah, I think again for me, it's either the phone ringing or the text message coming, and knowing that all right, I'm preparing myself for an interaction, and I want that. That could very well be the best part of someone's day too, if they're having a real downer of a day.
Yeah, but we're talking about the authentic, the news. I've often told clients, I've told agents, I've shared with agents many times that the most important phone calls you make are the ones to deliver bad news. So say, you have a listing that's been on the market for 30 days. It happens sometimes. And talk to the clients. It's not compelling. Therefore, it's not selling. We need to reduce the price to try to pique interest. You do that. You hold the open house. Very few people come. You don't have any showings. That Sunday night, the last thing you may want to do is, last thing you're going to feel like doing is calling your client and delivering that news, but you have to, right? Yeah. You got to tell them sometime. The sooner you tell them. And, hey, Brett, I've got good news. I don't recommend actually saying this. I've got good news. Sometimes, what is it? Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers, right? This prayer is unanswered. You did not get the house, So I think back to good friends of mine. Just one story. I went, the home inspection was going great. These are super close friends of mine. I ran to 7-Eleven to get everybody a soda. And I'm picking up I'm checking out, and I get a call from my friend. She's like, we need you to come back here, and the home inspector's like, oh no, this is not good. He hands me a mask. This is long before COVID. No. He's like, they found the basement was chock full of mold. And that was not the way that we wanted it to turn out. But we get through it,
Yeah. And again, you set yourself up if you are going to be that person that has to deliver that, knowing that your last interaction was positive and great. So, yeah.
Another thing you do a great job with is fostering collaboration. So it's not just about your interactions with our agents, but the agents' interactions with one another, and setting up that real great mind sharing that takes place in your offices. Any advice on how people can foster that between maybe members of their sphere of influence? They're doing a client appreciation party, get people talking.
Yeah, so in office, so in my role, I do like to kind of match make and stuff like that. So if I know somebody is really starting to go in on video, for instance, having that accountability partner for that type of thing, I feel like all the time my response is, do you mind if I put you on a text with so and so? Just make the introduction and stuff. And yeah, I mean that's one of the things we do best here is that collaboration. And so yeah, putting it from a agent client perspective, same thing. I mean, clients and just people in general always want that person they can go to that has a good electrician, has a good person to do siding, just that they want you to be that go-to person as well. And the more we're connecting each other, the more value you're bringing, not just from the transaction itself, but far beyond that. I think you're going to tend to stay more top of mind with your past clients and prospects.
And I love what you said about immediately making that connection and sending that text, because I know from my own past failures that oftentimes
I may have learned it from you, the text thing. That I may have picked
Send
it up
the
from
text,
you,
like as we're doing. Well, I was doing a coaching session yesterday, and I said, before you get off this phone, I'm sending this email to Brett and Julie to make sure that we have that follow up, because I know if I just put on my to-do list, it might be a week before I send that. And then this is the solution could have already been made by that. So in terms of performance, you were the lead singer in a band. Tell me about that. And tell me specifically, what was it like the first time you got on stage?
What parts of the internet were you looking here, Eddie?
I looked at it before our first, before I did my first interview with you. I found it on
even
the YouTube.
Before that. So yeah, this started, middle school and picked up the guitar and soon after wanted to get in front of people at talent shows and stuff like that. So went talent shows and then started writing my own music and stuff. The funny thing is, so public speaking, my wedding actually also, I was just a nervous wreck. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to say my I do's and stuff like that. Any of that kind of stuff in front of public, I'm not super comfortable with. Getting up on stage for whatever reason seemed a little different. I don't know if it was because I thought I was doing something cooler. I think that's what I've said before. At least I'm doing something cool and it's loud and that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely nervous at first. But as I did it, really not as much, more excited.
Mm-hmm. And did it get easier? Because I know every time before I do public speaking, I tend to get a little nervous. The bigger the stage, the more nervous I get. But then as soon as I get that first reaction, I find that it becomes more than just relaxing. It's like liberating. And I absolutely love it. I feed off the energy of the people that I'm interacting with. And it's truly becomes one of my favorite things to do. But try telling me that the moment before I go on stage, and I will think you're crazy.
And that's exactly it. So out in the crowd, if it's a parent, if it's somebody just cracking a quick joke, or then even turning around and having. So my brother was in the band for a while, and some of my close friends who I'm still really close with, just cracking a little joke or something. But that definitely is a bit nerve wracking, but looking forward to maybe doing it at some point again. At some point there. Yeah.
All right, let me shift it a little bit back towards authenticity, positivity. You need to deliver news to an agent that they don't want to hear. Maybe they came to you and they say, I'm upset because of this, this, and this. And you say, let's circle back to your business plan. You really need to be doing this, this, and this to have that type of an outcome. Is that tricky, a hard conversation for you?
I don't look forward to it by any means, but again, maybe if in the moments before having to do that, finding a work buddy to run it by. Just like, do you think this is a good strategy? Again, surrounding yourself with people that are going to help you talk through that thing. Yeah, I think eventually though, when your positive interactions outweigh maybe the ones that aren't as negative, because and then there's the other side too. Somebody doesn't want to be either delivered news or talked about a really serious topic by this person that's just so outrageously positive about it too. So reading the room is a big thing. It's almost the bedside manner aspect. Not that we do anything near what a doctor does, but like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, the first part of your answer was perfect, which is you run it by a buddy, because anytime you're delivering information, I think the more opinions you get, or a select opinion of someone that you trust before, is great. All right, Brett, thank you so much for sharing all this with everyone today. Love having you here. Love working with you on a daily basis. And folks, if you like what we shared, please hit the like button and subscribe, and then you'll get notified when you get more videos. But this is the only one up to now with the Brett Nickley, but we'll have him back. All right. Thanks, Brett.
Thanks for having me, Eddie. Take care.